5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Sync.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 263 of TTV. I'm Meso.
I'm Var.
I'm Phweffie.
I'm Takuma.
And I'm Prpl.
And hello, everybody.
Man, this is not a typical cast.
No, it's
that's
not.
for sure.
Phweffie,
Yeah,
have you ever been third before?
No, I don't think I have. And also, we've got no chat boxes in the podcast today.
I was gonna say, it's like Var, Meso, and 3 girls.
Wow.
Wait, what?
Nice
Takuma.
one.
I had no idea.
We are
Neither did I.
We are the
I still
gal
don't.
pals.
Gal
Oh my
pals.
god.
I like it.
Like,
We are
I'm
not
just,
the gal
I'm just going based off of, like, you know, body type.
Trapakuna.
Oh, okay.
What?
Kuma.
I mean, I can be.
I've
I'm
got
just-
no muscle.
I mean,
Yeah, who knows?
I'm
I
being
feel like-
sexist and implying that girls are muscular. Okay?
I missed that. You're implying girls are what?
Are not muscular.
Okay.
I mean,
okay, now I understand why this is an atypical cast now.
This is going a bit too
We
far.
intentionally try to keep you guys away from each other.
So, how's the weather, guys?
It's
Why the weather?
It's actually
Yeah, I
been
feel like-
really weird over here.
You know, Meso,
so
one of these
freaking
times,
hot, man.
one of these times when we get together, you could ask how I'm doing instead of always asking about the weather. It's nice to know that you care less about me than the local barometric pressure.
jeez.
I mean,
At least it's more
Man.
interesting and less sassy.
Prpl, you're one to talk. You're like the sassiest person here for no reason.
You know
I don't
what?
why you're in
Prpl
such a
and
bad
Takuma,
mood.
the sass off
Oh
goes.
gosh.
Let's not make this a competition now.
Sass.
We're all here to have fun, guys. Listen,
Wait,
this
what,
is
what
I
did you
missed the
say?
memo.
the sass sauce.
Sass sauce.
Sass sauce?
I'm just
sass
thinking
sauce.
of that simple purples make sass sauce.
Phweffie,
That's
get
a
some
reference
meat.
to something, I'm sure.
Simple Takuma.
It's Rick and Morty.
Kuva noodle?
Oh, is it?
really?
Okay.
Simple
I don't
Rick.
Yeah.
I've seen most episodes of Rick and Morty, and the inside jokes still kind of go over my head, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like,
seen, like-
I get Pickle Rick. That's about all I remember.
I've seen like 8 episodes of Rick and Morty. The vast majority of the
I've
show
seen
I have
maybe
not seen.
10. Hey, Meso, we should sync it like we used to always do before. And then you'll, like,
I'll
never be around.
happily join
Yeah.
you.
That'd be
I've
fun.
been there when we did it last time. We sank view.
Sank.
Sank view. What's the plural of
Sank
view?
view.
Sync
Sync.
You don't need a
Sync.
plural of sync.
We synced
You
it
don't
up.
need plural
wait,
of verb.
yeah,
Plural
you're right.
of past tense.
Spanish.
Yeah, I meant past tense.
Sunk view.
Well, that's what I was trying to get at. Sunk viewed.
Sunk view. No.
Anyway.
please.
Maybe it's
Except
sync
viewed is already past tense.
I just
Sank Viewn?
you guys are making this harder than it needs to
I
be. You're
suppose-
frustrating me. I'm getting angry.
asking.
I didn't want this to be a whole ordeal, and here you are making it a whole thing. And I just wanted to be here for this podcast, have a good time with my friends, and now I realize I have no
Me
friends.
too.
Because
Those
Oh,
things
wait, not
sound
the last part.
mutually
I just
exclusive.
wanted a simple conversation with simple Prpl and Takuma Nuva, and it ended up that we're questioning the English language.
Yeah.
this is one of the
It's
first
not like
episodes
What? Like,
that we've had on the new. Actually, this is the first episode that we've had with the new schedule that's been initiated. We did the first.
That could be a reason for it.
Yeah,
We've been up all day.
It's the Friday
We have been
feeling.
up all day. That's true.
I just got off an 8-hour work shift, same as Var. So.
Yeah, me too.
yeah, we're all a
That
little
sucks.
loopy.
I just got back from school like 4 hours ago.
I just
Oh
got
wow,
back
it sounds
from
like it's been a stressful day for you.
sitting on my
Totally.
bed doing nothing.
Dude, okay.
You go Phweffie.
Okay.
Man, it
I
sounds like it's been
needed
real
to-
stressful for you, Phweffie.
The marshmallow
Okay, so
life
earlier
is
today
hard.
I needed
Right.
to get... Okay.
Hey, Prpl, listen, you're the one cutting everybody
Stop
else off
bulldozing!
in this situation.
Anyway, earlier today I needed to get gas for my car, so I like went to the gas station, but there were like no things and the gas light was like on. So I was like so desperate to get gas that I ended up waiting for like 15 minutes for someone to just freaking move already. I don't know, maybe my car didn't like
Oh, dude.
stall or whatever.
Is your
Ridiculous.
town running out of gas too?
I don't know if it's running out. It was just really busy at that one thing for some
Which
reason.
might mean
Yeah,
not
that
in
we're
your
running
town,
out of
Mark.
gas.
Is it because of the
Yeah,
hurricane?
it's been busy.
Never
in-
heard of that happen.
Well, it's a recent thing that happened because of all the hurricanes. There was this there
Oh, yep. Okay.
there was this rumor that there was a gas shortage because of all the hurricanes. Right. This wasn't actually true. The same amount of
So
gas.
Yeah, but it was
here
a
the entire time.
self-fulfilling prophecy.
I was
but
gonna say,
yes.
that could have been one person saying, "Oh, they might go up." So everyone's like, "It might go up. I gotta go get it now."
Exactly. So the problem is, it's a self-fulfilling prophecy because now all the people thinking that we have a shortage on gas have been driving to gas stations and filling giant tanks filled with gas, and now we have a shortage on gas.
Well,
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
So
thanks a lot, neighbors. How could
yeah,
you?
it's really stupid.
Hurricanes
Um,
send people into a panic. But that sounds like a troll more than anything.
I'm more.
It does,
I'm,
dude.
I'm honestly more shocked that Prpl has a car.
I've had a car since I was like 17.
It's a
I got
purple
it for my
mobile.
No,
birthday.
I'm with her. That seems like kind of a big girl thing. I don't. You're not really a big girl yet.
You-
Before
Okay,
you're like-
listen.
Purple,
Just
when
because
I
I
met
didn't get
you,
my
you
license
were-
until I was 18 doesn't mean I don't have a car.
Purple, when I
just
met you,
saying,
you were like, you were either not allowed or you were reluctant to like go get a soda. I remember that.
like-
Remember when that was a joke? Like,
Dude, Meso, Purple's
like
too
sodas.
lazy to go out of her room to talk to her family.
I'm just
Yeah,
saying,
honestly.
it's nice for some people.
Dude, my car is purple.
my. Oh.
Wow.
I never
Shocker,
would've
that
guessed
one.
that.
Yeah, my mom painted
Holy
it for
cow.
my birthday last year.
No, I.
Web,
a
have you,
couple years
have
ago,
you even
actually.
driven your car yet?
Who, me?
Yeah, you.
Yeah, because
Have you driven a
I
car
was
yet?
about to say, my dad got me a car, and then his car broke, so then he took my car.
Oh, okay. So that's a no.
He's
then.
like, here's your birthday present. Happy birthday. Oh, hold on, let me take it back. Our car's broken. And I haven't
Here's
seen
my,
it
I mean, your birthday present. Here you go.
Yeah.
Thanks.
But I have driven it once, and it was the most terrifying thing. It was like, I have all this power, all this knowledge.
Dude, driving was so scary for me at first. I like failed my test like 3 times
like,
before I got my
and
license.
here's the best part. It's like
What?
this little bug car, so it's not even that powerful. I'm just like, it's so powerful.
Aw.
It's like,
Wait, is it like a Volkswagen or?
I think it's an Astra. Hold on.
Might be. I mean,
if it's a
regardless of how
bug, it's
small it is, you can
probably-
still kill someone with it, so
Yeah.
it's still a lot of power.
Oh no, it's not an Astra. I don't know.
It's a car.
It's just a car.
It's a
It's
class.
Cars are
It's all-
so weird. It's like
I wanna
they
go
have
back
so
to
many
something real
different types.
Go on.
Purple, you failed your driver's test 3 times?
It was 2 or 3, yeah.
Your
I only
dress, your,
failed once.
man, you guys, your tests must be so much harder than mine then. 'Cause,
Dude,
like,
our tests are so ridiculous. I have to drive in like downtown in the middle of the day, like rush hour for my
Ooh.
tests. I can't like drive like in my actual city which is like in the middle of nowhere. Just
you
so
want to know,
annoying.
like, my driving test, I walked into the place, then to the DMV. We hopped in my car. We took a right turn down on the freeway where the store was, or the place was at. We were on that road for maybe 30 seconds until we did another right turn into a neighborhood. And then we just drove around in a neighborhood for like maybe a minute and a half. Then I had to test that my brakes worked, so I throttled on the brakes so that we could do a quick stop in case like a kid ran out on the street or something to test that. That worked. And then we just drove back and I passed. That's all it was.
Whoa! Hold on. You didn't do parallel parking.
Nope. No parallel.
Oh
parking.
my
You did-
god!
you
That was the
didn't
reason I failed one of my
stop-
tests.
You didn't do 90-degree back in.
Did not do 90-degree anything.
What in the ever-living son of a motherless macadamia nut was that?
None of this stuff I had to
win?
do. I got in my car.
Okay.
We did a brake test and that was it.
Oh my god.
Wow.
Okay. When I took my first driver's test, I was on a course. Second time, it was kind of like you said, where it was just kind of local area. First one I did was on an actual course. I got everything right except for one thing. At their little street light, the little intersection with the lights they had set up on their course, there was a very small sign that was like half hidden behind a tree that said "No right turn on red." Because I didn't see it, I took a right turn on a red light, which in most cases is okay to do, and insta fail.
Dude, I almost
you
caused
know,
a car
honestly-
accident.
Honestly, that was bound to happen because, so I drive up there. I'm waiting in line for the instructor or whatever you want to call him to come out. He
Right.
gets in the car, me being me and also me being Minnesotan, I'm like, hi, how are you doing today? I'm tired and I don't want to be here.
Oh my god.
Okay.
That's
Thanks,
anyone that
Miss-
works at the DMV.
Thanks, Mr. Sunshine. If I'd known this is the way it was going to be, as soon as you entered the car, I would have said, hey, screw you, let's do this.
Nice. Cut to the chase,
Yeah, it makes sense that my driver's test was so easy because like the drivers in my hometown,
It depends on the state and place you're
terrible.
in. Yeah.
they are terrible
Much
drivers.
lower standard, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's clearly a lower standard because there's a lot of people that probably should not be able to drive. I like to think that I'm a pretty good driver for the most
Are the
part.
wheels coming off? No, you passed.
Essentially, yeah. Like I can
wrong.
parallel park regardless of not being
Have
tested
you
on
killed
it, and
someone?
that's just something I
no,
kind of
you passed.
Dude, I almost
Actually,
had a car accident on one of my tests. I made a lane change right in front of someone who was speeding up, and they almost rear-ended me.
I almost did that before. Yeah.
I insta-failed that one. I was really upset.
I actually had a nightmare
man.
which I was driving on the motorway and I didn't know how to drive. Like,
Oh,
you know
man.
when
So she's like
on,
spinning out of
you
control.
know when you're on the highway and you're just like it's really fast and everyone's driving really fast. Well, I wasn't ready for that. I drove in a car park once and I was going from that to highway. And I was like, oh my god, I want to slow down, but there's people around me. I can't do anything. And I'm just like,
Just to clarify, you said that was a dream, right?
yes, this was a dream.
Okay.
It was like one of those dreams.
Kind of scared me for a
You
second.
know, like one of those mini stress dreams where you have them at
Oh,
work.
I hate stress
You have them about
dreams.
work.
Dude, sometimes I swear to God, every stress dream I ever have, I'm back in high school and I cannot remember my locker combination. Like, every single time.
I hate that.
Dude, this one time I freaking
Weird.
woke up and couldn't remember my combination. I was just like, oh crap, it's coming true.
Here,
But I
Hashtag public
had it
school
written down,
problems.
so-
this is something that I find very peculiar because clearly there's a difference between just my chemical makeup and everybody else. But I find that I don't know what a stress dream is.
Oh,
I don't
really?
usually get stressed. I don't usually feel anxiety. I can tell you the first time. I can tell you the first time I ever felt stress. It was when I worked as a waiter.
Oh, okay.
Like,
don't
I
hate you
think
anymore.
2 years
I
ago?
sympathize.
Yeah, it was an awful job and I hated it. But I remember like just the day of where I'm like, holy crap, this is stress.
Yeah.
Like I never
my
knew what that
God.
word actually meant up until that point.
It's just
And it was like a mind blow kind of because it was like, oh wow,
Dude,
this
I've
is
been
what stress is.
stressing over stuff since I was like 4, ever since my dad first left. Not for a business trip.
that's a bit
Wah.
tender.
Yeah.
A little bit.
I love that.
Yeah,
That's a bit tender.
I overreact and I have social anxiety, so any job in
Oh
retail
my god, same.
gives me stress
Oh, God.
dreams. I have dreams where people are shouting at me and calling me every name under the sun, and then I go to try and fix it and nothing works. And then I call the manager
no.
and they never show up. So it's just like things like it's not as bad in my job that I had, but like my cinema job where people just have a go at you for like existing. Like, it was one of the worst things.
Yeah.
They're just like, why is everything so expensive? Why can't my child go see an 18 movie? I'm just like, I don't make the rules. Just a...
Mhm.
It's crazy that people
You know-
think that they can get what they want by just yelling at other people.
I guess I don't know the exact definition of a stress dream, so I don't know if I've ever actually had one. But what I can say I've had is those nights where I'm really dreading something that I have to do in the morning,
That's usually where you
and I
get
dream about
Yeah.
and I dream about it, and I dream about having to go through it and how much I'm hating it, and then I wake up, and the first thing I think is, "Dadgummit, I just did it. Now I gotta do it again."
Nice.
I feel
Because
like...
you literally
like,
feel
what?
you literally feel like you already went through the whole situation, and even it may have just been a dream.
Yeah.
But for all intents and purposes, it feels like you have to do it twice.
Let's define this. What is the difference between like a stress dream or like a straight up nightmare? Like in your mind, like about a realistic
well,
situation.
nightmares-
Nightmares
Fear.
are like scary, and you feel more
Nightmares
adrenaline.
are
Stress dreams like
Yeah.
you're
I feel like you're in
suffocating.
physical...
Nightmare will be like the repeating one I had being chased by a three-headed bear
You what?
as tall as. I used to have a recurring dream about a three-headed bear about almost as tall as the house, chasing me.
Oh.
That's hilarious.
That's I want
Why
to
are
know
my
like what the
dreams so
deep psycho.
lame?
I wonder what the deep psychological roots of that dream is, Takuma. Why a 3-headed bear that's the size of a building? There's got to be something that you witnessed as a kid.
I don't know if it's anything I witnessed. I used to have like a real legit fear of bears.
Bears are pretty scary.
Beyond that, I don't know where the 3 heads and the size comes from.
There's
Maybe it's just
3 heads.
exacerbating my fears.
I've always thought bears were kind of cute. They would probably kill me if I met one.
Probably.
Like I'm just afraid of like certain animals. Like I love bears, like, but I'd never want to meet one ever. You know, it's like with certain
Animals are
people,
cool.
it's like, man, I'd love to meet, you know, I don't know, some dangerous person. Then you're like, no, I wouldn't want to meet them. But I would like to
kind
know
of
about
danger?
them, though.
Like a murderer.
I'd love to just meet a dangerous person. Just any dangerous person. Someone that's,
You get
know,
like those missing posters.
dangerous.
The Zodiac Killer.
Yeah, you get,
Ted Cruz.
you get like those posters or like the missing convicts. Do not approach this person. It's like, oh, I don't know what I'm gonna do today.
Time to approach.
I've got kind of a 2-part question based off what Prpl said in chat. Okay, so first thing is, do you guys know about how many times you've dreamed where you have died or like woken up right before you died?
About 3.
Yeah. I've never actually died, but I've almost died several times.
I've definitely died in my dreams
had
before, but I
several.
always wake up when I die.
Yeah.
Probably the most epic dream I ever had was like I was walking down a highway near me and the ground was like collapsing under me. And like
man.
it was like Armageddon all around me, and like I almost made it to the other end of the bridge, and then the floor fell out from under me, and like I fell to my death.
I do remember. I do remember one dream that I had. I don't know if this happens to you guys, but I don't know if you ever dream if like you're in the perspective of a completely different person than you.
So
I've had
Not really.
that. I've had that once. I've had that once. I must say, like, seeing yourself, or is it like you're a different person completely?
kind of like
I was like a completely different person. Like just
Okay.
it was essentially like I was living out like a story that I had written in my head
That's
that I
pretty
hadn't
cool.
put on paper yet. But it was like it reminded
Sounds
me
like
of
Alan Wake,
What is
Yeah.
what is
Kind of,
everyone
yeah.
have such
It-
interesting dreams.
which
it
I
reminded
haven't
me
played all
of
the way
the
yet.
opening to Battlefield 1. I don't know if anyone's familiar with that, but in that opening, you play as like a soldier character, and you kind of you go out into World War I, and then when you die, you suddenly like get lifted up into the sky, and then you start playing as a different soldier, and it's just like you're shifting perspectives of all the people in that war, and it kind of gives you perspective of how many people actually died during that war.
That's pretty cool.
It's a really cool
yeah.
effect.
Yeah,
But that's kind of like what my dream was, where like I would be a character in this story, like I'm a main character doing something like to fight against like the evil dragon horde or something, and I die in a fight, and then suddenly I'm pulled away, and I'm a different person now in that same story, but I'm a completely different person. I have their perspective, and
That
I'm
is
making
very
their decisions for them until I die as that person, and then I'm a different person.
Whoa. No, see,
I've only ever had that dream once, but I remember waking up from it and being like, that was awesome.
Let's do that again.
so the extent of my nightmares are that I bump into someone I don't want to bump into in a store.
3
Jeez.
guesses. That's
Okay,
so
I mean-
appropriate.
That is such a you nightmare.
It is so awful. Or I go to like a dinner party. It's always the same dang person. Okay.
For you, it's like social
And
nightmares.
I go
Yeah,
I go
interesting.
there and it's a family gathering, and then they're like, "Oh, have you met this family?" I'm like, "No," and then they're like, it's their mum and dad, and then them. I'm like, "Why? Why?" Also, why are they at a family gathering? Are they related to me?
Good question.
That would be
Part-
the worst thing.
I don't know, Phweffie. I do
Part-
not know.
Part 2 of my question was going to be: have you ever had a dream where you died and didn't wake up right away?
Yes.
Like
Nope.
you
Yeah.
have,
Yeah.
I have.
like you had an afterlife dream.
Yeah,
That one,
I've been in a dream about purgatory.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You know, I'm pretty sure we've actually had this conversation before.
Yeah, you said about
We have talked about dreams before.
I think we did
Yeah.
all TTV talks about it way back in the day. I could be wrong.
What-
Well, you had like a pseudo TTV
What'd you
talk,
say,
so you're
Phweffie?
basically on the podcast, but you had an entire like
Yeah,
makeshift one.
we had a segment on the podcast where we talked about dreams.
Dreams are fascinating to me.
What-
I really like
Yeah,
analyzing
I hate
them.
those people who are like, dreams are boring. I'm like, shut up.
They are a reflection
You're
of the
boring.
person. They are a reflection
Yeah,
of the
it-
subconscious mind.
That's the coolest thing about it, is because like it's very tied to who you are as an individual.
Wow.
It's
like,
also
the-
why they were born
I'm
from the
pretty
BZP
lame.
Forums. I almost said message boards.
They were what?
Dreams are
Dream
born
talk
from-
on BZP. Dream topics were not allowed.
Oh, really?
Oh.
You didn't know? Yeah, because they had
That's really
too
dumb.
much of a tendency to just kind of spiral out of control.
Lame.
Just like
And they were just
everything
kind of
in
like
life,
never
deal with
ending.
it.
It might have even been reasons for like it's too easy to like inflate your post count by just making up dream after dream after dream.
I can see that.
Dreams
That's
are
true.
cool.
Yeah, I could see that. But
It's just so interesting.
For people who
that's-
weren't aware
that's
of BZ Power or on BZ Power, the post counts like matter there. You can get like little like icons and stuff. I
It's
think.
all a status game.
Yeah, status game.
oh, okay.
But yeah, no, I've never had a dream where I lived in like an afterlife. The closest thing to that is that one dream I just talked about, where like I swapped perspectives. But I've never, when it's me and I die in a dream, I always wake back up. There's
Same.
no afterlife. I
Unfortunately,
wonder
it'd
if
be
that has
cool.
something to do with, huh?
I forget, what was your
Huh.
purgatory dream?
Yeah, I think.
Yeah,
Or it was like having an
It's
existential
very-
crisis.
Wait, hold on. It's very similar. It's similar to this movie that came out once, and I'll explain the premise because I can't remember the name of it. But basically, someone dies of a drug overdose, and they float above the different apartment complexes they used to live in. I think it was like Inside the Void or something. Like it had void in it, and like it was.
Oh, that narrows it
Thanks for
down.
clarifying.
Sorry. And
That narrows it down a lot.
it had
You're
like
fine.
after they died, they watched the people that were around them react to their death, and it was like that,
Oh man.
and it
Aw,
was really depressing.
That's cool.
Oh no, it was really depressing.
I'm
So-
sure it is. But that's cool.
So
It
you
is-
dreamed you died and then got to see the reaction.
Yeah, like seeing my like
that
parents
the gist of it?
parents mourn over my dead body. There was literally like one part I remember in particular that really upset me after I really thought about it. Like, you know when you think about a dream and the more you think about it, the more you remember. It was like one of those. And like they're at the the morgue, and like they were identifying me, and it was the most heartbreaking
That's
thing.
deep.
way more deep and involved than my purgatory dream
Like it was just
What was yours?
awful. It was the staircase one. I think I remember.
Yep, as punishment to atone for the wrongdoings in my life, I was not going to hell, but I had to spend time in purgatory. But instead of like the normal cleansing fires thing, it was here. You're basically in a white void at the bottom of a spiral staircase that goes up into forever. You just have to sit here and be bored for like thousands of years.
Yeah,
And
Takuma.
realistically,
Sounds like
Yeah,
fun.
Takuma. That's what you.
It's not supposed to be fun. It's supposed to be punishment.
That's
Well, maybe that's why it's your purgatory and not mine.
That's what you get for turning right on a red light.
Yeah, I was thinking that. I was like, what
because
evils
of
have you done?
boy.
Punishment.
I don't know why Phweffie, your dream reminded me. Have you, probably not. Have you guys ever seen Requiem for a Dream?
No,
Oh,
I
I've
don't
heard
intend
of it. I
to.
Nope.
haven't
That
watched
phrase
it
before.
or-
It is
It's
literally
the
one of the
music is
most.
popular.
It's one of the most depressing movies I have ever seen,
Is
and
it
I
about,
love
like,
making them.
a ghost that.
No. It's about like these
Oh, no,
three
I'm thinking
characters who are like
Phantom of
addicted
the
to drugs,
Opera.
but like they experience it in different ways or whatever. But it's like it's done like in a really like realistic like don't do drugs kids kind of way, where it's like you see these guys like transition from being like normal healthy people to going to like crazed addicts where like their
Their
lives are
lives.
completely ruined by the end of the movie. And the worst part was
Anything like that triggers
the
me.
one of the main characters, or actually it's 4 characters that are involved in this. There's 3 teenage characters, but the 4th drug addict character who's like gets wrecked at the end is one of the other 3 characters' mother.
Oh
Who got
no.
Oh no.
She got into drugs by watching like one of those like adverts on TV, and it was like advertising like this will help you blah 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 your life back together or whatever, and she got it.
So the
and
media.
She got addicted, and it's like it's the most depressing downward spiral ever.
Yeah.
And I love
Gosh.
whenever I make a new
trying to
friend,
think
I
I
just
wanna
love to sit them down and make them watch it with me because I just like to see the sadness kick in. I like seeing
you,
other people be very unhappy.
You don't need to watch.
Wow.
You don't.
Okay.
You don't need to watch the
Okay.
movie if you've watched it happen in real life. But yeah.
Oh.
Mwah, mwah, mwah.
Aw.
But I kind of do that with people with Beasts of No Nation, that Netflix movie. Like that movie broke me in the first 15 minutes. I had to stop it and take a break.
Beast of No Nation. Never
I've
heard
not
of
heard of that.
It's about
What's
child
up?
soldiers in Africa.
Oh yeah,
Like
that's not a good one.
that's all you need
That'll
to
do
say,
it.
really.
Yeah, really, that is all you need to say. That tells us everything we
I
need to
was
know.
like, oh, this is so wonderful. Look at this culture I've never ever seen. It's all been about war over here. That's all you hear about. And then in the next 10 minutes, you're crying on the floor. You're like,
Oh, I cannot just watch sad movies. I hate
But
being sad.
It's worth it because it's
Oh gosh.
people.
You learn so much, Prpl.
Well, the tragedy always has like something good behind. Like I don't know. Like there's always, if it's done right, there's always like something good at the end of it. Like that.
A silver lining.
Yeah.
Being sad makes me happy.
You
Shut up, you freak.
wow.
That was the most
Like, I don't know, like,
contradictory thing you've ever said.
It is contradictory, but it's like whenever I watch like a really sad movie or like a TV show or something that just breaks me and just makes me cry or something, I'm like,
I kind of get what you mean. It's like
this is
for me,
amazing.
for me,
I want this to happen more.
I mean, I gotta imagine it's kind of in that same vein of people who like being scared.
Oh, I love
I mean,
horror movies too.
There's not as
Same.
much.
I love horror
I can't stand it. But you know, it's gotta be something similar. Like it's a quote unquote unpleasant feeling, but for some reason, certain people get a kick out of it.
Interesting.
Yeah.
The thing is
I
that
guess maybe it's yeah.
scary movies don't scare me anymore, so I have to watch like really messed up
Yeah.
psychological horrors that like play on my mind.
Scary movies don't really scare me either. I just kind of I appreciate the direction style and the cinematography and everything that they usually have.
It came out.
It did scare me actually.
Was it a good movie?
And
It was
they
a
had the
very
wrong
good
Lego
movie.
pieces.
It was I saw the original TV miniseries. I don't know if anyone here has seen that. It was the TV miniseries was described by like my friends who saw it as kids as being one of the scariest things they've ever seen in their lives. So of course I watched it.
Gosh.
It was terrible. It was awful. It wasn't scary at all.
They
It was
over-
the most
they
campy
overhyped
thing
it.
ever.
Times change.
Yeah, times change, man. Things get real bad with age. Anyway, this new It though, wow, it was so good. It was also very funny. I wasn't expecting it to be funny, but most horror movies typically don't go the direction of humor, right?
It's typically unintentional comedy. Like
Yeah,
some
exactly. It's
ridiculous you
unintentional.
like crack up at.
Exactly.
Yeah.
This one, they intentionally went the comedic route, which I think really served it well because it gave the movie some heart to it. Like you really like the characters in the world that they were living in. But it was also still scary too. They were able to balance the comedy and the horror elements really well. There was one scene in the movie that legitimately freaked me out. It was probably the first like visceral like this is actually really creepy scene that I've experienced in a horror movie since like I saw The Ring when I was 8.
Oh,
See, like nothing like that. I don't know why, but nothing supernatural scares me nowadays. Like, because I know it's not real. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know why, but probably the most scariest
you know?
supernatural thing I've seen was in The Sixth Sense. If anyone's seen that movie, there's a scene where like the
I haven't
kid is
seen it
just
yet. I
like
want to.
hanging out in his tent. And then he goes outside and there's this random woman just washing the dishes. And she like starts shouting at him, like, because she thinks it's her abusive husband. And she turns around and like she's got a massive black eye on her like face. And she like pulls her wrists out and all her wrists are slit. It's like, look what you made.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's like I watched this when I was like 9 and it horrified me. Like I was like, look what you made me do, Lenny. And then she like chases him down the corridor.
Whoa.
It's like
What the?
What movie was this?
The Sixth Sense.
Oh, okay.
There's also a scene
Oh, wow,
where like the kid looks up and like Bruce Willis is like, why are you looking up there? And he's like, it cuts to like his point of view and there's people hanging from the ceiling. Like,
I've seen that scene before.
yeah.
I've never seen the
Like,
movie,
it's
but I've
just,
seen like snippets of it.
It has to be
Interesting.
like it has to fit in like really well. Like it can't just be like, for example, I watched Annabelle: The Creation, which is terrible.
You poor soul. I'm
Not
sorry
a
you
good
had to suffer
it
for
made it worth it because I watched it with my friends and they were really entertaining, like watching it. But like I just laughed at it and they were like, "Why are you laughing, you psycho?" And I'm just like, "It's not
This is
scary.
so scary. How could you? It's, like,
It's not scary, especially when like the freaking the demon comes out and it just looks like a guy in makeup. I'm like, I'm not scared at all. Same with Insidious when
It's
that
a-
demon thing shows up. I'm just like, I'm not scared. Just like
Ins-
Darth Maul.
Insidious was a movie that was, I think, unintentionally funny. There was also another, like, I've got a friend that like we watch horror movies together a lot of the times, and we had this other person that was with us one time, and she is absolutely terrified by like anything that even remotely is horror themed at all. Like Halloween is like a big deal for her. So we watched this one movie with her, and it was like the worst horror movie I've ever seen. It was some stupid like Netflix movie that was clearly low budget, very awful.
Death
like,
Note? No.
not Death Note. She'd probably be scared of Death Note though.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Man, I thought I was a wuss.
There was this in the opening scene. You have like the main character like riding a bicycle like down the road, and then like out of nowhere a van pulls in and just slams into her, and she goes flying. And it was clearly meant to be like really scary.
I thought that was gonna be
me and my friend just started like laughing out loud at the thing, and then we look over and this other girl is like trembling in a corner.
Yeah, it's like when you said the van pulls over, I immediately thought of a situation way more scary than that. Like what you just said, I was like disappointed by the outcome of that. I was like,
yeah, no, it wasn't scary at all.
For modern day horror to succeed, it has to have subtlety. That's what I've observed.
Yes.
All this old stuff, it's very antiquated. It's very like dated. The old age of horror no longer applies. For most people to the modern era.
well, I like
Absolutely, I absolutely agree with you. In fact, the scene that I was referring to in It is one of the most subtle things I think I noticed in that movie, and it legitimately creeped me out. But I noticed because I saw it with my friend, and she did not notice the scene at all. It was so subtle that she didn't even notice it. And then I talked to other people that saw it. John saw it, Vin saw it, and AT saw it, our audio editor, and all three of them, nobody noticed this scene. I was the only person who noticed it.
See, that's
it was
really creepy.
It was so subtle, and it freaked me out. Oh my god, I love that movie.
Something that really freaked me out in the movie that wasn't even supposed to be freaky was like this like theory that this boy ghost was in the background of this movie called Three Men and a Baby. I know that sounds really ridiculous. Like,
Three Men and a Baby.
I'm pretty sure that it was like a.
Sounds like a Rick and Morty skit.
It kind of does. But I'm
three men.
I'm pretty sure it was like a billboard or something that someone had put up for jokes. But like, there was one scene where he wasn't there, and then literally after, there's like this boy in like a chimney sweeping outfit just standing in the background, and you wouldn't notice it unless somebody pointed it out to you. And once it pointed out to me, I was just so freaked out by that. I was like, I can't watch that scene now.
So someone in the live studio audience posted the Wikipedia article to this movie that you're talking about, Phweffie.
Yeah.
And this poster is one of the weirdest looking things. What is this movie?
There's a sequel too. It's like Three Men and the Lady, which is when she's like, like a kid.
Oh, that's creepy.
The baby grows up. Okay.
Yeah. What's creepy?
How odd.
Like, did you see
Three
it?
Men and the Little Lady. Oh wait, I think I might have seen this before.
No way.
Three Men and a Little Lady. This is really familiar looking.
Yeah, I used to watch it all the time. I used to watch both of them.
All the time.
Yeah, stop
Big
judging
fan of
me.
Three Men and a Little Lady.
I remember there was some movie I used to watch as a kid about like these burglars who like kidnap someone's baby, but like the baby gets into all these goofy. Yes!
I used to watch it too.
Prpl's passionate about this.
Okay.
Jeez.
I still have
R.I.P.
dreams that like
headphone
take
listeners.
What?
in that city.
What?
Oh my gosh.
What was it called again?
Baby
Stay Out.
Okay.
I'm
you guys
aware
can't
of
say
it, but I've never seen it.
Baby, okay. Can we say it slowly?
And now I'll never hear
Baby's
it.
Day Out.
Okay, thank you.
For the audience.
Ow.
I'm pretty sure.
So cute.
I'm pretty sure the whole ghost thing's been debunked, but it still creeped me out.
This stupid gorilla. What is with the gorilla?
The baby
Why is
ends up in like
Harambe
a
in this
gorilla's
movie?
cage, but the gorilla like takes care of him because it's like adorable.
Of
The
course.
gorilla takes care of
Yeah.
the baby.
Rip
He, like, screws
Harambe.
over the bad
He
guys.
died before his time.
Harambe's day out. Oh, live studio audience.
You never
There's
fail.
I love those like old cheesy like covers where there's like I remember back then it was like the days of the wide angle shot where like there was so many like wide angle shots of people's faces in like the early 2000s slash late 9.
There's like fisheye like lenses too.
Yeah.
They used a lot. Or like it makes it like kind of distorts your face, so it looks like your nose is really big.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are really popular. Meso, do you have any like super awesome childhood movies that you loved and have maybe locked away in the back of your mind? I don't know why I'm asking. You don't watch movies.
Yeah, it's like the majority of movies I ever saw. I watched SpongeBob. That's not a movie.
You said you didn't. Also, there is a SpongeBob movie.
When did I ever say I did not watch SpongeBob? SpongeBob I watched religiously.
Really?
Yeah,
Yes.
I did too.
What show was it
Here we have
you didn't
Meso,
watch?
practitioner of
SpongeBobism.
Spongeism.
Spongeism. No, it's like I remember the SpongeBob SquarePants movie was a big deal.
Dude,
That was a
I
big
love
deal.
that movie. So
I mean, the
much. Oh my
SpongeBob
gosh.
SquarePants movie is what like that's like the midpoint between the show being good and the show being bad.
Yeah, it's like after the movie, the episodes just went to crap.
Mm-hmm.
They started relying on like gross humor instead of actual like jokes and stuff.
Like satire and witty comedy. Yeah.
yeah.
It was,
Yeah.
I hear that SpongeBob's having a bit of a renaissance. It's starting to get like
Is it?
good again. Yeah.
Oh my god, it's either gonna have a renaissance or get canceled.
I
and
think
like
I
coverage.
think
Makes too much money.
the original creators perhaps come back.
Oh, thank goodness.
I think.
Oh.
But no, this is sad though. He's actually got a terminal illness, so he's.
Oh, rip.
Yeah, I was like, it ruined my day when I found that. I was like,
Okay.
sucks.
So, someone in the live studio audience posted one of, like, I think my most cherished childhood movie ever of all time, and I completely forgot about it. The Land Before Time is one of the greatest things ever. I loved that movie.
I did actually see it. I just don't remember anything about it, but I did see it. Most of the movies.
Dinosaurs.
Dinosaurs.
All the parents like dying and stuff, and, like,
That was
running, and then
yeah.
the T-Rex was so scary. I've actually seen, I think, most of the Land Before Time movies.
Movies too.
I remember, what's his name? Was it Char? Something like that?
Charmander?
No,
Jar
not
Jar Binks?
Charmander. It was,
Chomper.
No.
no, it was Chomper. Yeah. The little little baby T-Rex. He was like my favorite character. I had like two little like
He was
baby
so
T-Rex dolls.
cute.
Yeah.
I just keep thinking of I used to watch Alvin and the Chipmunks a lot, and recently I watched like top 20 like episodes in cartoons that talk about death, like, and I realized that like one of them was one I used to watch all the time. It's basically the Chipmunks. They had a kitten and the kitten died, and like it was all about
Lovely.
like grief and stuff, and I was like, I remember crying.
Chipmunk
at this
movie about
episode.
grief?
Yeah.
Wow.
Dude, Chipmunks used to be pretty good. Like, I don't know
Yeah.
what these new movies are doing, but
Oh my god, do not watch them. My brother watches them all the time, especially in Egypt.
They
Just
are
watch like the
so
latest few
annoying.
over and over. They're so
Annoying.
Dude,
They're just like cash cows, basically.
They are. That's
Yeah,
what
they are.
Gotta make that
question.
money. That's why. Yeah, what's up?
Okay, how many of you watched the old DuckTales, and have you seen the new DuckTales yet?
yes and yes. I was a big fan of the old DuckTales.
No and no for me.
Saw the new DuckTales. I am very impressed with it so far. I
Like-
think
It's decent. I am not as put off by I almost said Benedict Cumberbatch, David Tennant doing Mr. Scrooge McDuck as I thought
Yeah.
it would be. Honestly, you want to know the biggest issue for me? There's no trumpets in the theme song.
I've actually heard some people on YouTube were doing like compilations of the two theme songs where they mashed them
Yeah.
together. It was like
Like
perfect.
that's like the most iconic part of the theme song for me, and there's no horns.
Yeah, it was. If they just added the horns, it would be like the perfect theme song. But I'm just happy that they have the theme song to begin with. Like,
I was very reserved about whether or not I'd like it. I actually want to watch more.
yeah, I the first episode is really good. I think I haven't seen anything outside of the first episode, but I'm pretty happy with it so far. I feel like
Yeah,
they've
same
actually
here.
tried
Yeah.
doing a good job with it.
It's,
Also, I think David Tennant's really good as Scrooge. TBH, really like his voice. So
Yeah, like at first it put me off, but I easily fell into that groove of this is believable.
Yeah.
Funnily enough, it's a shame that Kahi wasn't on because he would have a lot to say about VeggieTales and how that's been changed.
Hey,
John's going through enough
I haven't
stuff right
watched
now.
it since it changed.
I haven't
John's
watched
going
it
through like a lot of
either,
turmoil.
But like
The last
he
one I
showed me,
watched
he showed me the
was-
3D models, and it looked like someone who'd never
look
touched
completely
Blender did
different.
it.
I forgot
They look
VeggieTales
completely different
existed,
now.
and also I forgot that it changed.
Yeah.
Dude, the only time I've ever like watched VeggieTales was when I was at my like super Christian grandma's house, and even
Yeah,
then she
I-
wouldn't even like keep on that much.
I can't imagine any other context where you would be watching VeggieTales.
Yeah, is it like a Christian show? Because I never
Yes.
knew
Yes,
that.
it is.
It is.
Yes.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that either. I didn't know that at all. I thought it was
Sunday morning values, Saturday
I-
morning fun.
I remember watching the VeggieTales Jonah movie, and I'm like,
Oh
this
yeah.
is a really weird premise to make a VeggieTales movie on. Oh, it's a Christian show. Now it all makes sense.
I also vaguely remember seeing like episodes in Egypt, which of all places, why would it be on in Egypt?
I don't know.
Because Moses.
Maybe you get. I don't know. Do you have like a? do you go to like tourist
also did,
houses at all, or like maybe
They also did
Tourists? Well, there are like a lot of tourists and stuff.
'Cause if,
And,
like, a
yeah,
lot-
I guess there are Christians
a
in
lot of
Egypt. I kind
Americans
of forget
go
about
to
that.
Egypt. They might have it for just the American people.
It's only a percentage of the population. I kind of forgot about this.
There's like sometimes I'll see like maybe one or two churches, but like it's nowhere near as many as there are here. So it's like, yeah.
Yeah. No, that makes sense.
It's really weird. Like
Dude, I've still got some of the silly songs memorized. Like his cheeseburger, Pizza Angel, the song of the
Because I'm a
Cebu,
pirate who
who
won't do
don't
anything.
anything. We
I
just
just
stay at
sit
home and lie around. And if you ask us
to do anything, we'll just tell you.
we don't
We don't do anything.
Tell any of this stuff.
Well, I've never licked a spark plug, and I've never smelled a stink bug, and I've never painted
Man, you
daisies
really
on
do
a big red
remember it.
rubber ball, and I've never bathed in yogurt, and I don't look good in leggings. And we've never been
That's
busted. I did
weird
mix a couple.
image.
I mixed a couple of different verses together.
A cucumber in leggings.
Well, I was thinking
Oh, man.
Takuma and
I never
leggings,
saw
but
Veggie
yeah.
You guys ever see The Prince of Egypt?
Oh,
You guys were
don't
like
think
talking
I
about
have,
this a while
actually.
back.
It's
You guys were hyping this up in the
fantastic.
chat a while back. I'm like, I've never
that
seen
movie,
it.
I've
That's the
actually
only thing I
bought
remember-
the soundtrack like the other day because it's just so good. It's like, what happened, DreamWorks? What happened to you?
That
I
was the
know.
animated one, right?
Yes, it was animated. It was
Okay.
one of
I
I think
literally remember only one thing, and that was the running gag throughout the movie about the guy who was obsessed with his teeth.
I don't remember.
I don't
this.
remember that.
That's all I remember.
I
Also,
do. I believe it was the very first DreamWorks animated film, actually.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Also,
How the
So-
mighty have
also,
fallen.
just a little.
How the
comment.
Mighty Have Fallen. I really liked that movie though. It was like one of the first movies that wasn't Disney that I was like, oh, this is awesome. I love this movie.
It was a movie that hit me, like especially when I went back and watched it, like because when you're a kid, you don't understand like the full context of situations, and then when you're an adult, you understand. And that part where like the 10 plagues like destroy Egypt, and
Oh,
that last
yeah, dude.
scene where like there's literally a dead child on screen. And you're like, and then Moses like bowls over in like absolute just stricken grief, and I'm just like, that's terrible.
That movie was dark.
And then
it gets pretty deep.
also like you also hear like the sound part of the soundtrack is like the sounds of like parents crying in the background, just the whole I'm like, this is so depressing, how did I miss this? And it's just oh gosh, it was just awful, but it was very hitting.
And like there's that wall like of carvings where like it shows like the people dumping babies into the lake with crocodiles and
I love
stuff.
that great
Oh.
sequence where they use the
Maybe I will
Egyptian
watch
art
this movie
style.
then.
Yeah.
across the
Oh
walls.
man.
Yeah, that was really good as well. It's like really it was
That's a
like
great movie.
abstract enough to be a dream as well. Like it was just made no sense. That's something that was perfect about it.
Did you guys see the Scooby Doo movies, like the older ones?
What, the
There's,
live
like,
action
one where they
ones
go-
or like
No, animated ones. There was I think one that stands out in my mind was
it
they
the
go
one
to
where they
like
had
a
to get the
zombie
band back?
island or something.
I think was it the one where they were like
Don't
broken
remember that.
apart and they had to get the band back together, like a Ninjago Tournament of Elements, and then they
Yes.
went to the zombie island. Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
I love that
completely
movie.
forgot about that fact, actually. Yeah, they were all like
I
separated
always
at the
love it
start.
when they do stuff like that. Where it's like, because it's like the far off sequel.
I'm
kind
pretty
of
sure,
thing.
that sounds like
yeah.
the live action movie.
The live action movie did a
They
similar
meet
thing. It was
Mr.
just not as
Bean.
good.
Or Rowan Atkinson.
It was this movie. It was animated. They were all like, because I remember Daphne was like a news reporter or something.
Yep.
Something like
I
that,
might
or
have
like
seen
a film
it.
or TV show host. Yeah, because it has this weird thing where like they go to Zombie Island, right? There's an island filled with zombies, but there's also these like cat demons too. Like the people there were cursed, and they're like actually like monster
Cursed to be
cat.
furries.
Yeah, because like the twist was that like the zombies were actually good and trying to protect the people from the cat guys. The cat guys were actually the real threat. It was a really cool twist.
Oh, spoilers. Maybe I want to watch this.
Well, you should have watched it 20 years ago when it came out or something.
Yeah, I don't know.
I remember the music for it was really good. Like I still like have like it's terror time again. I got you running through the night. It was like I had that on my. I think it was one of the first songs I put on my iPod.
iPod.
Yeah,
iPod.
an iPod.
Dude, I used to have an iPod, and then I, like, lost it for, like, several weeks, and I thought I had, like, left it at the zoo or something, because I'd gone to the zoo recently. And so my mom was, like, kind of mad because it was, like, expensive and stuff, and then, like, a few weeks later, I found it in my closet.
Well, there you go.
Yep.
The way
I
it
still
worked
have my
out.
iPod actually.
I-
Well,
yeah,
not my
same.
original one, but
I did that,
You-
but with my
You kept your
phone.
iPod, but not, like, your Xbox or whatever?
yeah, because the iPod isn't worth anything, and the Xbox was worth something, so I could sell it. If I could sell my iPod for like $300, then I totally would.
So I had.
But right now, it's basically garbage. So it's just yeah, I still have it.
Hey, it could be
I
worse.
get you.
You could have dropped it down a public toilet, which is what I did with my phone the other day.
Oh, like recently?
Rest
What?
in
Yeah,
peace.
so basically, everybody has back pockets, right? Especially in women's
Mhm.
clothing, you use your back pockets a lot because the front ones don't exist. So
I'll take your word
I
for
put
it.
my phone in my back pocket, and then our toilet broke at work, so I had to go to the local like Walmart or whatever. It's called Sainsbury's over here, but I was in a hurry because I desperately needed the bathroom.
Sainsbury's.
And I ran into the bathroom, forgot my phone was in my back pocket, and I pulled down my trousers, but as I did so, the phone slipped out and landed. I just heard this plop in the water, and I was like, hold on, I'm not even on the toilet yet. What was that? I turn around, my phone's bubbling under the thing, and it's halfway
point.
down the tube, and I don't even care at this point, like, what sorts of horrors have been secreted down there. I just put my hand down the toilet and fished out. And I was just
dude.
holding it like a drowned child, like, oh my god, what am I gonna do? And I was just like, I need to go to the toilet first, and I'll sort it out. And then
That reminds me.
oh god,
Sorry. Go ahead.
that was it really. It's okay,
Oh, okay.
but it like started breaking, and then I put it in a bag of rice, and now it's fine. So
Heck yeah, right.
Yeah, that works. That works.
It might-
Did you? Is it an iPhone 7?
it's a iPhone. Gosh, I can't remember the name of it. You know the ones that like came in like rose gold and like that.
Oh, so probably iPhone
okay,
5 then.
iPhone SE. That's what it's called.
SE. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, it's not the waterproof one.
Nope.
Well, there you go. So I don't know if you guys remember, but I was like talking about how I just got my iPhone 7 Plus like a couple episodes ago.
I do. There's a
I
whole
already
epic
did.
story about it.
We at Brickfair, I dropped it so many times. It was fine. I dropped it again like last week, and now there's just a giant like scratch like throughout the center of the screen.
Well,
But
that's
it's
okay.
new.
I just got it.
It's new.
I know, dude. I'm really annoyed because I have a good history of never dropping my phone, and it's the size. I love the size of the Plus, but it's so much harder to hold on to now. It slips out of everything, and I hate it.
Really? I have a 6 Plus or whatever, and I've like never dropped it.
Man, well, good for you.
Or there's a 7 Plus.
By the way, I am having a nostalgia overload right now. Prentice and the live studio audience posted Buzz Lightyear Star Command. That movie was so good.
I
Wait,
watch
well,
the TV
the
series
movie?
like all the time in Egypt.
Right? Yeah, the TV series
Just,
was
like,
also
always
good.
on.
I haven't got all the way through the series yet. I started watching it like, I don't know, some months ago, got partway through, and then just kind of dropped it.
Man. I remember seeing it in passing when I was younger.
think
I never fully watched.
Man, I'm
I
sad.
think I had like a little crush on like the red-haired alien girl.
Mirage.
Yeah, Mirage. Like, oh, she's awesome.
I don't
And then,
remember having any childhood crushes or watching any particular TV show.
What are you talking? I'm pretty
Bastila
sure.
Shan from KOTOR. Oh,
I'm
yeah.
pretty sure there is definitely an episode of the TTV podcast where you specifically said you had a crush on Tahu.
Oh yeah, that was when I got into
This sounds familiar.
Bionicle, like through like the Mask of Light movie, and it was like he surfs on lava. That's so cool.
Dude, oh my gosh, he surfs on lava. That's like my dream man right
But
there.
I was
Lava
like,
surfer.
He knows
the
danger.
thing is that I was one of those kids who was like introduced to like Australian TV shows and stuff. So there was a lot of like surf.
Really?
kids, and I was
How
like,
were you
no.
introduced to Australian TV shows?
Australian
Oh, is it like a
TV
British?
show.
Yeah, my parents used to watch like Australian drama shows like Home and Away. So like I just used to be introduced to like hot surfer dudes like all the time.
I don't think I have ever seen an Australian TV show before.
It's
I think the
pretty
only
much
thing
like a
remotely
TV show,
Australian
but it's
I've
got
ever seen
Australian
was like
accent.
H2O or whatever. It was about these girls who turn into mermaids when they touch water.
Oh, I've seen that before actually. That's really familiar.
I love
It was like
that
on
show.
Nickelodeon or something.
I watched every
Yeah,
episode
I
of that
saw
show.
I remember it gave me Zoe 101 vibes, so I was like, okay. But that was like when I started to grow out of Nickelodeon, so I never watched it.
I still like
All these
if-
shows.
I was still really young at the time.
if Drake and Josh is still on, like I don't know at 3 a.m. in the morning, I put it on. Like I love that show.
Yeah, that show was great.
All these shows you mentioned, I've never seen like a single episode.
You need to see Drake and Josh.
I feel so out of the loop.
Oh my
Yeah,
god,
so
Drake
you
and
were
Josh
just-
is so funny.
Yeah,
It saddens me that you never had a childhood, Meso.
yeah.
Eh,
It's still
I
living.
survived.
Wow.
I'm still breathing.
Clearly you survived, but look at the
Guys,
irreparable
calm down,
damage
he's-
it's done to you.
Guys, calm down. He's only 12. He has lots of growing to do.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
not.
true. You still have a lot of years left
I'm
on
not.
I swear. You're
Oh,
lying.
God.
you. Takuma, you're older than all of us. What is your like favorite childhood
Yeah,
show?
you're like ancient and stuff.
Favorite childhood
Do you feel
show?
like, do you ever feel like a babysitter when you're talking to us?
I guarantee he does.
No, actually, no. I would not say a babysitter.
Do you feel like
probably
a chaperone?
No, if I tried to chaperone you people, I would fail miserably. There's no way.
My
I'm
mom felt
no,
like a
if
chaperone
anything,
at Brickfair.
no, I
She
don't
basically
feel
was.
at all like a babysitter simply because I feel like some days I'm the most immature one here.
Interesting.
Really?
Well, and part of that may be due to the fact that I still freaking live in my parents' house and haven't moved out
Sorry,
yet.
so do I.
That's
Not for lack
Same.
of try. Yeah, but you're much younger. You're not almost 30, okay?
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
it would make sense in England because housing prices are ridiculous over here.
Well, right now they are over here too.
Exactly.
But I haven't even at any point had enough money where I could move out.
Exactly.
Krazix
Right now,
asks.
but the first
Sorry,
chance
go
I could.
Krazix asks a very prudent question in the live studio audience to me. How do you simultaneously have one of the lowest voices and one of the highest voices in the podcast?
Meso's
not a real
OT.
person.
Called having range.
Yeah, I was like, I got a weird vocal range.
Meso
More
needs
can speak when he
nerfing.
used to edit. More used to edit my audio. Yeah, he knows. It's bad.
As-
Yeah,
for-
editing your audio is really annoying because like I can never like equalize it properly because your voice has a lot of different things going on with it that
Yeah, I
just
don't know.
messes everything
Wrong
up. Like
with you,
if I tried
Meso.
to boost your high ends, your semblances would come out and it was like really obnoxious. Which is that the S's like that. See,
What
he
are you
does this like
talking about?
whispering sound effect.
My name
whenever
is
he, like,
Mess.
Yeah, it's awful.
Stop it.
It's terrible. But yeah, no, Takuma, come on now, you got to answer your that question.
As for like old childhood cartoons and stuff. I mean, I could throw out some usual suspects. Like, I remember getting up on Saturday morning watching the old Inspector Gadget. We had several VHS tapes where we had recorded all kinds of Bugs Bunny, Tom and Jerry.
Holy crap, you are old.
What's the other one?
Dude, I
Woody
love Tom and
Woodpecker.
Jerry.
Same.
Not gonna
Tom
lie
and
though,
Jerry's
one of my
funny.
favorite things to watch when I was really young was Duplo Adventures.
Oh no, I didn't watch that.
That
This
was
is
a
way
thing.
this is way before y'all's time.
Do elaborate. I did not know this existed.
This is
I didn't
this
either.
Duplo Adventures. It was a VHS tape. It was, how long did it go? Maybe half an hour thing, but it kind of went through 3 stories of, just it was a combination, sort of like IRL kids.
Oh my god.
IRL. Part of it was like kids playing with Duplos, and then part of it was like really early CGI of the Duplos kind of acting on their own.
So you're telling me that Duplo
Good
was the first
lord.
Lego TV show?
It was one VHS tape. That's it. But so
The intro was like disturbing.
there was 3 stories. One was about Marvin the monkey and what was the lesson he was learning? Yes, it was about Venom. No, Marvin the monkey, and he was always, I don't know, he was goofing off too much. There was one about a 2-headed giant that the 2 heads couldn't get along with each other. And there was another one about a plane that was trying desperately to deliver a package.
Whoa.
Imagine, in a way, you could almost compare it to the kind of theme of, like, the Lego movie, where it's all the, build your way out of a solution using the pieces, except it had a lot more of the real-world kid element in it, and it was, like, super old and direct to VHS, it says right on the box, ages, 1.5 to 5? That's about the complication of the plot.
So what you're telling me is Duplo was really the first story-driven Lego TV show.
Me and my siblings...
I don't know if story-driven is really the right word for it.
My siblings and I were super into Duplo. Like, you know those big Rubbermaid totes? We've got 3 of those just chock full of Duplo. And we loved building stuff with Duplo. So this show was right up my alley.
Interesting.
And there's definitely other shows if I thought of it, but at this point I feel like I've rambled on long enough about, the old times before DVDs were a thing.
Man, you were alive before DVDs?
I remember the first time we got a DVD, the first time we got a DVD player.
When did I first
I remember
start
having
being
to
a thing?
read.
Do you not remember VHS's Purple?
No, I do, but I remember just using DVDs
Who
a
didn't
lot.
rewind the tape after they were done watching it?
Can you guys believe this? But there are people in our audience listening to this podcast right now who don't even know what a DVD is.
That's pretty spook, TBA.
Don't know what a
DVD
DVD is,
what?
or don't remember what a VHS
D?
is.
Really?
A DVD, dude. Yeah, DVDs. No one watches DVDs now.
Anyone here
Sure you don't
remember?
mean
I have the
VHS?
physical copy.
Does anyone here remember tuning your television, like for the
No,
color,
that I
and
know.
the hue,
Yeah,
and
Pull
contrast,
things?
Yeah.
and
Antenna.
getting the
Oh, wait,
the-
hold it. I
vertical-
do actually. Man, memories are flooding back to me.
Yeah, like you got like 6 different knobs. One controls hue, one controls contrast, one controls brightness, one controls like the vertical scan. Like, and there's
Too many
other
options.
knobs.
Too many unnecessary
You
options.
guys,
You
many possibilities.
didn't have remote controls. You had to get up from your seat, walk over to the TV, push these big clunky buttons. The volume was a dial you turned left and right.
A dial.
your TV, like-
There was like
Oh,
static.
So primitive.
So you,
Yeah,
and
it's
you'd,
like, did
fiddle
you-
around with the.
did your TV get like that, like kind of like subtle, like buzzing noise? when it
Yeah.
turned on?
Oh yeah,
White noise?
it was really weird when we got our first
No,
like.
it wasn't white noise. It was like really subtle. It was like
It's like a high pitched frequency that's
Yeah,
very
like a
perceptible.
high-pitched
Yeah, I
frequency.
don't know
And that's
if
what
I've
kind
heard
of-
it, but like there is definitely like it's a type of
It's a thing with old like
Yeah.
CRT monitors, those tube televisions. The first time we got a flat screen, it freaked me out because usually like I could be coming up the stairs and even if the TV was muted, I knew someone was watching TV because I
you knew it
could
was
pick
on.
up that barely perceptible, high pitched sound. Now I've gotten used to it, but at first I'd walk out there and be like, "Whoa, the TV's on. Why is like my TV sense not triggered?"
Oh
yeah,
man.
like I could always tell when someone left the TV on by accident or something, like before going to bed.
Just that
like-
barely perceptible whine.
Yeah, I could be in a completely different room and be like, I feel
Yeah,
the TV's on.
Yeah,
I-
My
the
TV
TV
sense
sense
is
is tingling.
Yeah, like not that specifically, but I would always be too scared to like let the VHS finish because I'm scared of the white fuzz afterwards.
Yeah, dude, that
It was
noise.
almost
If the
like
movie
sold
was
out or
quiet, so you
something,
had to
too.
turn up the TV, and then the static at the end.
You know what? That actually okay. So I don't think this is on recording, but I was talking about how recently how like I had as a kid I had a fear of pencil sharpeners.
Really?
Oh yes,
Really?
you did.
Go on.
You
Yes,
did it off
and
podcast.
it wasn't what you'd think, where it's like okay, he's afraid of it like cutting him or something, like sticking a finger in there. No, for me it was always the sound. It was like an electric pencil sharpener. Made this like really high pitched like kind of screeching noise whenever I used it, and for whatever the frequency of it like blocked out my hearing from my surroundings, I guess, and that just it put me on edge. Like I couldn't tell if something was behind me or not, and that freaked me out whenever I sharpened my pencil.
Yeah.
And it was a very similar thing with the TV too. Whenever it made that white noise, it's like it was so loud and so like
It's like how,
high volume that it
it's like how people
takes
are
away
scared
your
of the
perception.
dark. Like you can't see, and that's what you're afraid of.
yeah,
Like
exactly.
I hate
Actually,
people that
I was afraid
It's
of
like-
the dark.
make fun of. 'Cause
Audio
I have the
darkness.
same fear. I used to be scared to flush the toilet because it was so loud that I wouldn't be able
Dude,
to
I was
hear it.
deathly afraid of the toilet overflowing and like flooding the whole world.
And then
Oh,
worse
Wow.
off, I still kind of get nervous doing this. But hand dryers as well, especially the really loud ones, the Air Force ones, because I can't hear anything
Yeah.
behind me, and it like.
Yeah.
And people are like, "Huh, you're stupid." I'm like, "Well, I bet you were afraid of the dark. I bet you still am."
I bet you still are.
Yeah, it made loads of sense, didn't it? I bet you still are. I know, I'm slightly afraid of the dark still.
It's not Jonathan, so we don't criticize her.
Wow.
We don't criticize her language, just Kahi's.
For languish.
English.
Language. Hey, I'm not. Yeah. There's only one person who's English we're allowed to criticize, and that's Jonathan Zwan.
Yes, so I get what you mean, Bar. Sorry for interrupting.
What is this
No, I got
nightmare
you.
image that Prentice just posted?
Dude, I'm
don't wanna
convinced
know.
Prentice is like my like long lost brother because he keeps posting
Right,
things in
Wad
the chat
posted
that
it
like
too.
I also
Like cursed image.
like I watch like Dragon Tales and
Dude,
Chippendale
Dragon
Rescue
Tales!
Rangers. Yeah, like all
Oh
this
my
stuff.
God!
Like,
I actually did see
Magic
Dragon
School
Tales.
Bus is being rebooted,
Oh, I
and
saw
I
the-
don't
Okay,
know how
yeah.
I feel about it.
I haven't seen it. What is it like? Good or bad?
I haven't
School
seen
Bus?
it either. I'm scared to. Yeah, they're rebooting Magic School Bus, except it's not like going the DuckTales route. It's basically it's a continuation, as I understand it. It's not Miss Frizzle anymore. It's Miss Frizzle's like sister.
oh,
Which how you can have the Magic School Bus without Miss Frizzle is like that's
Can't you just
that's
be
some
an
kind of
older teacher if it's a
blasphemy.
continuation? Like,
Right?
what the? Oh dear God, I already don't like this art style.
I know. And like
Oh,
I haven't looked at it closely
gross.
enough. I don't know if it's the same kids or
I don't think it is.
if
Like,
it's
Kahi was
a
like,
different set
me
completely.
and Kahi
It's the
watched
same
the
kid
trailer.
stereotypes.
this looks awful.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
the
I
teacher,
don't want to watch
the
it.
The new teacher looks like she's supposed to be too pretty. Like she cares too much about her image. She isn't like frizzy enough, you know.
Yeah, that was
Again,
like the
it's-
awesome thing
again,
about Miss
it's
Frizzle.
Miss Frizzle's sister. Why do you get rid of Miss Frizzle out
And
of
replace her with a
Magic School
sister?
Bus?
Yeah, I wouldn't know because I never watched the Magic School Bus.
That's like going to Baker Square and saying, "Ooh, can I get a raspberry pie?" And they're like, "Oh, we're all out of raspberry pie, but we do have quiche." It's like just because it's still in a pie plate, you don't give me something that's made out of eggs when I ask for raspberries.
Do you know what the?
That sounds like a really specific problem.
Just saying, Magic School Bus and saying, "Oh, here's Miss Frizzle's sister." It's like, "Oh, sure, same family, same red hair." No.
If it's a sequel show, the only point of doing a sequel show is to do like in the future. So it shouldn't be Miss Frizzle's sister; it should be like her daughter. You know,
Yeah.
Exactly. That's my thing.
Daughter,
It's like,
or even
keep
like
her.
niece, and then make it like the old classmates, like kids or something.
Yeah,
So maybe
'cause,
we
like-
can even still get cameos of them. Because I want to know what happens to like grown-up Ralphie and Carlos. Just saying.
it's weird to think because like yeah, if it's her sister, that means Miss Frizzle is still around. Unless let's imagine the first episode they open up with like Miss Frizzle just getting murdered.
Oh my God.
Okay,
I'm sort of watching this
I can only-
trailer, and it's like
I
she
can
just
think of
hands the
one
keys to
ex-
her sister.
I can
she's
think
in
of
the
one
trailer?
acceptable reason.
Oh, what?
I can think of one acceptable reason, and that's if like the kid, like her class moved up to like went up to like middle school or something, and Miss Frizzle is going with them. That's the only good reason I can come up with. For
Okay.
this, is she's
I
advancing
can
with
see
her own
that.
class.
I must.
I can
But
see
that is only like if she's not quitting her job, and this is a different set of kids or whatever. But still, like I don't want to watch. I feel like I have to watch at least the pilot just to see, so that I'm not making like blind judgments. But I don't want to.
I must say that the style reminds me of like those annoying ads about making choices, like the episode ads.
Making choices.
Oh my god, I know
no
what you mean.
idea
They're like
what you're
this
talking
really
about.
ugly, frigid, like there's just no
Oh my god,
personality.
it's like the same freaking animation style too.
Yeah, like it's almost like they're
I'm
like those
completely
like
lost.
you know those
Same.
you know those like pin-up paper models where you use like pins for the limbs so they like kind of move like side to side but they don't move forward or backward.
I
It's
used to
really
make those when I was a
mindful.
kid, but they were always monsters.
Yeah.
No idea what you guys are talking about.
Okay, so episode
I just
is
lost my
this
guys are-
the
like
guys are
sort of
lost.
adult pick your route game where you just like
Mass
tap
Effect
choices to
Andromeda.
make decisions in your life. It's usually about romance and stuff. But they spam advertisements on like every social media site possible, and it's so annoying.
Yeah, it's like
So-
if
you haven't seen them,
are you gonna
fucking
date the dude or are you gonna be a jerk to him? I'm just like, why? Why does this exist?
Well, I'm straight, so I'm gonna be a jerk to him.
I'm not.
I'm going to
I'm
date
not-
the dude just to play with his emotions.
I'm not gonna do either. I'm going to cancel it. I'm gonna close the app and I'm gonna delete the app, throw the phone back down the public toilet because it's just as stinky as everything else that goes down there.
Wow.
All right, well, we're running a little long.
Yeah,
so.
let's go ahead and start wrapping this up.
Really?
This has been
I thought we'd moved the length up to an hour and a half at this point.
we could,
Nah.
but
Oh.
We could, but
either.
Same.
I just thought that was gonna be the new standard, but yeah, sure.
this has been a fun
it was
podcast.
back when Brickfeed was not Brickfeed, when Brickonicle was a
Brainstorm.
part of the the thing. Now that we kind of moved that to its own show, it's back to normal.
I'm happy all three of you got to talk a lot on this podcast.
Just
Yeah, this was a
thought
good
of-
podcast, guys. I
Yeah.
feel like I
I
haven't
just
heard you
thought
guys
of
talking
the
forever.
one show I
So
forgot that I
reveal-
watched all the time.
What was the show?
Zoom.
Yeah, we've spoken about that before. I remember that was on an
Zoom.
TTV Talks episode.
Yeah.
It's so relieving being able to talk.
Being able to speak ubby dubby. There was woman per subbing that I could. Yep, nope.
What
I'm
are
not
you-
as fluent as
I'm so
Zoom.
confused.
Or ubby dubby. Ubby dubby was
another
a language.
You're not speaking English right
Deber
now, dude.
was woman pubber subbin ubber thubber thubbin abai thubbit abai nabu thubbit cupboard.
All right, maybe we've talked a little too much at this point.
Jar Jar Binks,
Dub-dub.
Nubbo. Nabat
Jar
jabbar
Jar
jabbar
Binks and
bubbings.
Zoom.
Nabat jabbar jabbar bubbings.
I want to die.
I'm gonna get Swifty.
Abai
Gotta-
rubber rubby
you gotta
subber
get
rubby fubber
Swifty.
yabu bubbar dubber rubber.
I can't
All
sing
right.
the
Okay,
rest of the song
it's
'cause
a very
it's
simple-
inappropriate. Gotta get Swifty.
Okay, It's a very simple language. All you do is you put in front of each vowel sound. So podcast would be pubod cubast.
Sorry, too
Vardaran is
thinking.
Vabar
confusing.
dubber reban. Purple dragon, pubber pubble drabagaban. Mother subo neba. Fwebe fubby. Phweffie
Whoa,
is
watch your
Phwebe
language.
fubby. Avoca tamer would be abo vaba kaba. Abo abba vabo kaba tabai nubber.
This is over. Thank y'all for listening to episode 263 of the TTV Podcast. This has been a wild and crazy ride. Special thanks to our live studio audience. Go check us out on
Thank
Patreon, patreon.com/TTV channel. Become part of the madness. Special thanks this week. Go to our Patreon, I don't know, Prentice, because we mentioned him so many times.
Wow.
all the time on the
Yeah, we mention him
podcast.
all the time. I'm pretty sure we've actually done a shout out of him.
Yeah, you have.
Here,
Let's bleep
sec-
his name out and
second
replace
one.
it with something else.
Second shout out. Donovan Asmawadij. I can't even pronounce the name. I apologize. It's a
Are
lengthy
you
name.
speaking the Zoom language?
Donovan
Ubby dubby.
Asmawidaja. Thank you very much for supporting our content and for pledging your support to our Patreon.
Can we do a third one?
Sure, Peel a car.
We've done him before too.
Shout out everybody. Duramar Nuva. He's new.
He's
Thanks,
new. Okay, that's
Duramar
good.
Nuva.
Yeah. There we go.
Duramar.
All right,
In the
cool.
chat, yes. All right. So this was a journey, guys, but it's been fun.
to one.
Next
What was it a journey to?
One.
to
A
done.
journey to one.
Journey to one
Said that journey
podcast
for
where I
anyone
won't be
else.
on. You
And
go.
now it's a journey to done. So let's
Next
this is a good
podcast,
episode, guys.
I won't be on. I don't think I'll be on for like 2 weeks. Because we're
You
rotating
will not
that.
be. Next week's podcast, because of the way we're changing things up and smaller cast, a different time, we are going to be having John host that one, except he's probably not going to be there, so I will likely be hosting that one.
All right.
Nice
You go,
scheduling.
Mark.
So we will. Well, okay.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean
Lego
that.
kind of screwed us over.
Dude, I can't wait till John comes on to tell his story.
Oh god.
Yeah, we've got a lot of things. We got much awesome stories that'll happen.
If it
Awesome.
weren't for my friend,
Buckle your
I
seatbelts,
would have
guys.
missed this episode, so I should be quiet.
There were unforeseen circumstances as to why John will not be on next week's episode. So we will we'll talk about those in the coming days.
Yup, but for now, see y'all next time. I'm Meso.
I'm Var.
I'm Phweffie.
Abai aba tabokamumaba nabuvaba.
Hello, Prpl.
And farewell, everybody. This was TTV 263. We'll see y'all next time.
Goodbye.
Bye, guys.
I need an adult.
I
Yabu
am.
nabi daba 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 double.